Now, for those of you who struggle with exercise or don't consider sport your thing, take inspiration from my next guest. Dr. Catherine Walter only discovered she had a passion for powerlifting at the age of 65. 7 years later, she's still going strong, breaking records, and now encouraging other women and men to embrace exercise in their later years. And Catherine is here now. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.
So when you think of the types of sports out there, powerlifting isn't the first one that comes to mind. So how did you get into it in the first place?
Well, I was 65 and I started complaining to one of my sons that I felt I was not as fit as I used to be. I've never been. I was not good at sports in school. I've never been a great athlete. And I couldn't find the time to go to the gym 5 times a week, and I was afraid it was the slippery slope with old age. And he said, "Mom, you don't need to do cardio. You run around enough and up and down stairs and stuff. You want to lift heavy weights with few repetitions, and you'll only have to do it twice a week." Well, that sounded great. So it happens that one of the librarians in my department at Oxford is a powerlifting coach. So I went to him and said, "Am I too old for this gig?" And he said, "Only one way to find out." And I've never looked back. I love it.
And what was it like when you first lifted weights? Because it always seems like quite a daunting prospect.
Well, I didn't do it on my own. I had my coach, and he carefully inducted me into the form for the lifts. But when I felt myself under the bar with weight on the bar, it felt like that's what my body was made to do. It's a wonderful feeling. Humans have been lifting stuff with their legs and their backs forever. Squatting is something that you find in all societies. It just felt right, especially for somebody like me who's no good at ball sports, who's no good at endurance sports. It was wonderful.
Were you ever worried about injuring yourself?
Well, I'm a data person. In the list of sports, powerlifting is at the bottom of injuries per 100 hours of sports.
Which is incredible. I wouldn't have thought that, but...
Absolutely. You won't injure yourself if you do it properly. You're more likely to injure yourself dropping a weight on your foot than you are squatting under a bar.
So what have been the benefits? What have you seen in terms of health improvement since you've been doing it?
I've never been healthier. My bone density has increased. This is something that Miriam Nelson at Harvard found out 25 years ago. She took women between the ages of 65 and 90, got them to lift weights that were challenging for them, gently increasing the weights as they went along, increase their bone density, increase their muscle mass. I have the bone density of a 20-year-old. I have very good muscle mass. I feel healthier than I've ever felt. And it makes you think about things in different ways, too. I'm more interested in what my body can do than in what my body looks like. There are no downs.
And you now compete, don't you?
Yes, I do. So my coach said, "Well, why don't you try?" And it turned out that I have some talent for this, or maybe that there just aren't enough people my age willing to give it a go. But yeah, I hope this year to reach a 100-kilo squat in competition.
Wow, that's heavy.
And to break some more records, to show people that an ordinary person who just goes to the gym every week and builds their strength.
So just briefly then, what advice would you give to anyone watching at home who's a similar age perhaps to the age that you are, or even younger, that might want to take up powerlifting as a hobby?
Find a good gym. Find a good coach. Make sure that you go regularly. And little by little, you'll get stronger and stronger.
Dr. Catherine Walter, thank you so much for coming and talking to us. Thank you.